Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in again. Today what I'm going to talk about is about the Japanese sex slaves. I'm pretty sure you're well aware of the sex slaves, but I hope by the following video you'll get to know them better and correct them. So the sex slaves are women and girls who were forced into sexual slavery by the Imperial Japanese Army in occupied territories before and during the World War II. These women were either taken from their homes by force or were tricked by job offers. They were mostly very young, the youngest being known to be 11 years old. Being 11 years old in Korea is a 4th grade elementary student. Can you even imagine what kind of disgusting, inhumane things the Japanese army would have done to these young teenagers? They had to put up with about 5 of these men every day. As if this isn't bad enough, they were treated like they were less than animals. The men were obliged by the Japanese military to wear condoms, but most of them didn't. Naturally, there were women who got pregnant. As you can see in the picture, the woman on the very right is pregnant. But the Japanese military didn't approve of that. It was as if it were the woman's fault that they got pregnant. When the Japanese military found out, the women were either killed or the babies were ruthlessly killed or taken away from them. This isn't all. Even when the women were menstruating, the men wouldn't stop. If they attempted to run, they were killed right away. All of what I just said now, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Right now, only 46 Korean sex slaves are alive out of the 238 who are registered in the government. But even they are either ill or very old. For many years, our country has been asking Japan for a proper and sincere apology and to admit their crimes, but Japan has been for years stubbornly saying that the women were not taken but volunteered for the job, which is absolutely ridiculous. Nobody would volunteer for a job like that. Korea has done everything in its power to help solve this problem, but Japan has been so much of a trouble. However, we finally came to an agreement not a long time ago, on the 28th of December 2015. But the contents of the agreement were more than enough to outrage everybody. It basically states that Japan is very sorry for every loss and will do whatever it takes to help, and that they will give Korea 1 trillion yen, which is about $8.25 million US. It also states that Japan will fund all the money for the foundation that will be established in order to help the sex slave victims. In addition, they asked for the transfer of the girl statue, which is currently located in front of the Japanese embassy in Korea. Now, after this agreement was announced, the people of Korea dominated the internet with outraged opinions about the negotiation. The main issue is the movement of the girl statue. Many people are criticizing the Korean government, saying that they sold over the girl statue for the money. The victims of the sex slaves are also saying that they don't need the money from Japan, but what they need is an appropriate apology. While most of the opinions on the internet prove to be negative towards the negotiation, there are some supporters of this agreement. They mostly say that this negotiation itself was very hard to achieve, and because all of the men who were in the Japanese military at that time are now dead, there's no way to punish them, even if the agreements had been different. And although people might think the money is not good enough or is inappropriate, it is the foundation that matters, not the money. Personally, I am one of those people who are not particularly on good terms with this agreement. I do understand very well that the negotiation was hard to achieve, and that the Korean government took a lot of effort and time to get to this agreement. And I am actually impressed that the government got Japan to fully fund the foundation for the victims. However, the thing that bothers me the most is, yes, the movement of the girl statue. The girl statue is a contribute to all the victims of the Japanese sex slaves, not only the Koreans, but all the women from the countries you can see in this picture. There was a reason it was sent in front of the Japanese embassy to not let them forget their sins and make them come forward and admit their crimes. But to move that, The Korean government must know that the movement of the girl statue is telling Japan that they won, and that they can do anything or say anything about the sex slave issue. We must withdraw this agreement no matter what. And Japan, just because you have admitted your crimes doesn't mean that they are completely forgotten. You should not have asked for the movement of the girl statue. If you admit to your crimes, why would there be a reason to do so? The thing you should have done is come in front of all the victims and gave them a proper apology, not cowardly ask for the removal of the proof of your crimes. Remembering something that should not be remembered is to prevent making another memory that should not be remembered. Please, everyone watching this video, help us and all the victims of the sex slaves so we can get a proper and sincere apology from the Japanese government and finally bring peace and justice to this world. Thank you.